Alright guys, a one card, Six Samurai, Great General, Link Monster, FTK, basically infinite damage. And before someone says, yo, that Invoker, that card's banned. In the OCG, it is still legal. However, in the OCG, they have Amazoness Archer as well as Summon Sorceress banned, but we have those legal. You can still pull off this combo as an OTK/FTK in the TCG if you use those cards. But my man, Dsummon, I gotta give him a shout out. He hooked me up with this, so he sent in this video file, and it's important that it's a video file because you understand why in a second here. But I gotta give him a shout out. Guys, check him out. I'll have him linked there in the pinned comment. He's another fellow Yu-Gi tuber. But anyways, let's go ahead and kind of explain what the heck is going on. So like I said, before someone argues about this not working in the TCG, it totally works. You just use different cards. I'll explain that in a second. But I gotta explain the loop here. And you can pull off infinite damage, guys. No troll, because Gateway is a really broken card. So, first off, Great General of the Six Samurais, it's the new Link monster. That's what allows you to pull off this FTK/OTK infinite damage in the first place. Now, more than likely, you're going to be using two cards most of the time to pull this off, but of course, for video sake purposes, since it is possible to do it with a one card, that obviously sounds much cooler, but here for the effect of Great General of the Six Samurai. And you guys are seeing the loop kind of go off right now. So, what the loop involves is actually Mizuho and Shinai. And I'll get into that in a second, but I have to go over, of course, the Link monster first. Which is basically a gateway searcher, that just a card that acts as like another utility for counters. So, Great General of the Six Samurai requires 2 warrior monsters, including a Six Samurai monster. And it says if this card is Link Summon, you get to discard 1 card and add 1 card that has an effect that places Bushido counters from your deck to your hand, which is Gateway. You can only use this effect of Great General of the Six Samurai once per turn. But each time a Six Samurai monster is normal or special summoned to a zone that this card points to, you get to place 1 Bushido counter on this card. It gains 100 attack for each Bushido counter on the field. This deck, guys, actually opens up multiple OTKs. The FTK is obviously much more impressive because your opponent doesn't get to Yu-Gi-Oh! However, you can actually one-shot your opponent. What we're seeing right now is a loop with Mizuho and Shinai, and Gateway is going to be adding counters. But also, the General gets to place 1 counter on it. Gateway lets you remove counters, but you're still going to have 1 extra counter every single time that you summon a monster, because Gateway, every time a Six Samurai summon, you're going to be placing counters on Gateway, but you also get to place counters on the General. But every time you're using Mizuho's effect to pop itself, and also you're going to obviously be attributing Shinai to pop itself, you're going to be able to place counters on the Gateway and the General. So you're infinitely being able to stack tokens, which is going to allow this OTK to work. So right now what we're doing, guys, and the reason why Dsummon, that he sent in that replay file, instead of the replay file, it's a video file, is because we're going to fast forward this. He's basically placing counters on top of General so it gets stronger and stronger, but we don't need it to get stronger. It doesn't have a limit. There's a lot of counter cards that says like max 2, max 3, whatever, but Gateway doesn't have that effect. So basically, we're just going to be stacking, because Gateway, you can use it as many times as you want, which is what makes Gateway so broken and why it's at 1 in the TCG. However, we can one-shot our opponent. We can start adding more and more counters infinitely to Great General, because every time we do this loop where we use Mizuho's effect to tribute Shinai and actually destroy itself, we're getting more counters on our cards. You can see our Generals are getting stronger and stronger. Now, this loop goes on for a very, 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 very long time, and that's why it's a video file. So again, thank you Dsummon for this, and shout outs to him. But I'm going to go ahead and briefly pause it right here so I can go ahead and explain. Again, the difference between TCG and OCG is OCG, we don't have these cards. But in the TCG, we are missing this specific card. That's the only difference, and you can still pull this off with these cards as well. Usually it's going to be a 2 card. If you get another card that can give you a +1, you can theoretically go for like an Armageddon Knight combo as well. That can easily open up the combo. But because he sent me, he's the one that sent me the video file, I wasn't able to mouse over the cards. But I wanted to explain this little combo here. So Mizuho has the effect where if you control another Six Samurai, you can just special summon this card. Another Six Samurai that it has to actually be Shinai. It's not like Kizan. Kizan is just another Six Samurai. Mizuho, you have to have Shinai, but it's kind of a loop in a sense. But anyways, if you control Shinai, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then once per turn, you contribute another face-up 6 Samurai monster, then target 1 card in the field and destroy that target. Now, the legendary 6 Samurai Shinai has the effect, if you control a legendary 6 Samurai Mizuho, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card on the field is tributed, you get to target a 6 Samurai monster except for itself and add it back to your hand. Then we're utilizing Gateway's effect over here. So every time you summon a 6 Samurais, this actually includes both players. So if your opponent is playing 6 Samurais and you have Gateway, you also get to place your counters. Just remember that. But every time a 6 Samurai is normal or special, you get to place 2 counters on this card. You can remove Bushido counters from your field to activate these effects. So if you have 2 counters, you get to target a 6 Samurai or Shin effect monster, gains 500 attack until the end of this turn. If it's 4, you get to add a 6 Samurai monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which is the effect we're using. If you have 6 counters, you can target 1 Shin effect monster that's in your graveyard and special summon it, but we're not using it for that effect. We're basically using the 4 counters effect. And every time we summon these, we get 2 counters for the first summon, then the additional 1 counter that we get is for the new 6 Samurai Link monster. So basically, again, you're going to be infinitely going for your token plays. But again, we're going to go ahead and fast forward this over here. So this is why, again, it's a video file. So, I guess it was playing while I was waiting. Hold on, okay. This is something important. Okay, so we do this to the point where we have enough counters, depending on your opponent's life points. If they, maybe you activated Upstart Goblin, or they were playing Metaphys, they are at 16,000 life, you're playing Tag Duels, whatever the case may be, you may need a certain number of counters, but every time you're pulling off this combo, you're going to have to memorize what you need. I guess you can just take this video as an example. So I guess once it's at like 3,400, it's a good example. So then we're going to go ahead and go for the Link monster for the Burning Abyss, the Cherubini. We're going to send the Ultimate Baseball Kid, and then we're going to go ahead and straight go right into any other like Link monster, but it's just a Firewall Dragon at this point. So we're utilizing Firewall Dragon, and we're going to go ahead and summon the Ultimate Baseball Kid, and then we're going to go ahead and Ultimate Baseball Kid, send the, of course, the Mizuho, and then we're going to just use Gateway's effect, bring back Mizuho, Ultimate Baseball Kid him infinitely. So you can see he's going to eventually just get burnt to death. So, yeah, that's the 1 card, or technically 2 card, depending on what region you're playing, but it's pretty insane, man. Adding Gateway back into the game was already scary enough for me, but having them also just have Gateway as a searchable. In the TCG, I know it's at 1, so it's probably not as big of a threat, but in the OCG, where you have multiple Gateways, I remember I saw that and I was like, well, how come 6 Samurais aren't topping? But this, guys, is probably going to make 6 Samurais a pretty big threat, especially since, well, you only need 1 card. Although, I don't know if I would say that you really need to run that specific card, which in this case, it was the Speedroid combo. There's a lot of different variants that you could just play 6 Samurais and you just throw in some Thrashers for the additional summon. Or just any card that can give you access to just being a warrior. Because remember, it just requires 2 warriors, including a 6 Samurai monster. So there's a lot of options at that point. But as you guys can see, it's infinite damage. Technically, at this point right now, every time we do this combo, we actually lose out on some counters because we get 1 counter from the Great General every time we summon, and then we also get one time of Gateway's effect, which is 2 counters. So we get 3 counters every time we do this combo, so we're -1 counter every single time. But before, we were +1 every time, if that makes sense. So hopefully this video helped you guys out and understood the full extent of the effect of these 6 Samurais. But yeah, like I said, shoutouts to my homie Dsummon for hooking me up with the video file. Credit does go to him as he sent it in. But I wanted to, I guess, kind of provide an explanation for some of these. But yeah, in the OCG, guys, check this out. Since we're almost here, we got to support that YouTube algorithm. All right, Gateway is the real card here. Gateway of the 6. This is at 3 in the OCG. You can run 3 of these. But like I said, for the TCG, if you want to actually go for some other variants of doing this, Armageddon Knight, this could actually open up the combo. This is, of course, done with the Malicious, but I'm not sure how I would feel about running the Malicious necessarily in 6 Samurais, like in the build, because it could get kind of cloggy because you can't really do too much. There are some Dark 6 Samurais that do work. There was a build before that actually ran Allure of Darkness with, I believe it was Iru. forgot how they spell it. But there was one build in the OCG that topped a long time ago. It was actually a Chaos variant. That was, I believe, when Blackluster was at multiple. It's at the multiple in GCG and OCG now. But the problem is we only have one gateway. But guys, keep in mind that you can have more than one gateway on the field. Although in the TCG we only have one currently. But yeah, if you're playing this in the TCG, just you can utilize this combo to pull off the combo much easier. But in the OCG they have that banned, but in the TCG we have this card banned. So depending on where you're playing, those are the cards that you're going to be wanting to play. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing the new Six Samurai Link monster in action, the great general of the Six Samurai. I think, dude, searching out Gateway was a crazy idea. Let me know how you guys feel about that down below in the comment section below. Are you guys okay with Gateway being searchable? That's the real question. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the vid. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh content. And give my boy, again, Dsummon, subscribe as well. He'll be in the pinned comment. But thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. I'm signing out.